What's happening, gents? We're back again with another episode. Your favorite podcast, the After Hours Dialogue. I'm here with Mo, who is at the back. I'm Nipo Pungula. And yes, listen, today, gents, I'm sure you've noticed in the few seconds that I've been speaking, this episode, we didn't really come prepared. But that's not because we needed preparation. Today, we're feeling, you know what, vibes, banter. Mo and I woke up today and we were like, yo, bro, let's film. What are we going to film? Yo, we don't know. So we took some time to think. And we're like, you know what? When we filmed that episode, when we recorded that episode on going to private school, prep, and, you know, the discrepancies between public, private, the accents and whatnot, we're like, you know what? Let's take something from that episode. So we did. Today, we're going to be speaking about life in private school, but prep school in particular. You see, prep was an absolute vibe, folks. Banter, all boys. You know, everything was fair. Everything was allowed, you know. And, oh, man, Mo was like, yo, listen, what stories can you think of from prep? And I couldn't think of a story for a while. But then I thought, damn.
I know you have a banger, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
100%.
You gave this this specific story that I know you're gonna tell at a 21st, and when I tell you, this guy had the moms laughing, the grannies laughing. Bear in mind, this was like an African function, by the way, like, you know,
Just blacks.
bro, and African aunties were dying, bro. Like, I've never seen anything like it. So hopefully the Oaks like it, but yeah.
Okay, so there's this thing. Oh my days. Oh my goodness. Back in prep, it was called Market Day. You see, when I hear Market Day right now, I just get memories. I get flashbacks. And when I heard it back then, my eyes would just light up. But let me set the scene. It's 2015. The weather was quite warm. It had to have been somewhere around summer. And I was feeling rather vibey. But I had my partner in crime. I'm gonna call him TJ. Absolute gen. I'm friends with him to this day. An absolute gen. My oldest friend to this day. Yo, he already knows what I'm about to chat about right now. He heard Market Day. He knows what's up. Basically what Market Day is this. Okay, you're at school. It's 2015. You know, obviously it's our parents who are funding us with all the money. We had to partner up in groups. We partner up in groups. We're on the field on that day and we're just selling goods. No services allowed, just goods. I'm talking about bacon rolls. I'm talking about lollipop sweets. The whole point, make money. But here's the kicker, boys. We didn't keep any of the profits. How ridiculous. Imagine, we're just basically donating to the schools. Apparently, the schools would reimburse the parents if they showed receipts or whatever. I don't know. Really wasn't my problem, nor was it my business at the time. But that was the case. We sell goods, we earn cash, but we don't keep the profits. We give them back to the school. That's all that it was. There were no rules. So TJ and I, the one time, got a very bright idea. And we looked at each other and we're like, yo, listen, we're in the marketplace right now. And there's a gap. Why don't we fill the gap? Okay. Bear in mind, at this time, 2015, we're about 12 years of age. We did what any astute businessman would do. Fill the gap and earn profit. We'd get there, get to school on the day of Market Day with about maybe 100, 200 rand, let's say, to spend. But we weren't in it to just spend cash and have a nice time, buy some sweets, buy some bacon rolls now. We're there thinking, okay, how do we make this money? How do we take this blessing that's been given to us and expand, enlarge it, make it bigger? You know, we had plans that day, plans bigger than corruption. We're at the age of what, 12? We're already thinking about profit. Now you're asking, okay, Neeps, how did you make this profit? Let me explain. Okay, so it's the morning. It's about 7 a.m. We get there. People are still setting up. If not still setting up, they just finished. you know, 8 a.m. hits, it's about the same vibe going on, but now the stalls are all open. TJ and I were like, yo, listen, bro, we could just buy whatever we want and have a nice time. But as I said, we're in it for profit, our own gain. But before I continue with the story, I must state, no rules were broken. No money was stolen. Nothing crazy was done that we weren't allowed to do. And it's all going to make sense by the end of the story. Okay.
Wait, so what were the rules?
The rules were...
Just you couldn't, like, take profit, that's it.
No, not even. That's what makes the story so interesting.
So
They
you
didn't say
you couldn't sell services.
No, you're not allowed to sell services, only allowed to sell goods.
Just goods, okay.
You bring cash, that's obviously given to you by your rents, and you have a ball. During that time of day, certain age groups would be allowed to go at specific times. So the grade 4s go in at this time. After the grade 4s, it's the grade 5s. Because you can't have the entire school on one field, you know, it's a bit chaotic, especially when you counting the fact that you're dealing with prepubescent children, you know. Well, technically not prepubescent if they're 13, 12, 11, but you get the gist. It's a bunch of kids, you know. But they didn't say you're not allowed to make profit. And that's what got TJ and I. So we're there, market day, 8 a.m. We're like, okay, we need to start. You see, I'm rubbing my hands because this is the feeling that I got, both him and I. We have our like 150 rand, 200, somewhere there. We start buying goods. I'm talking 2 liters. I'm talking sweets, lollipops, cakes. Well, not cakes, bacon rolls, not so much. More of those goods, those things that you can carry in a bag. Mostly sweets and 2 liters. We'd buy them for about, 15 rand, 10 rand, 2 liter. They charge us 25, even though a 2 liter is probably like 20 rand. It's all good. We knew what we were doing. Fair. So we bought the goods. Before we knew it, we had, you know, a bag or 2 of product. You know what I mean? Now, you have to understand, TJ and I's plan was quite succinct. You know, it wasn't complicated at all. We were there thinking, okay, we're going to break this entire market day like a kilo of Coke. That was what was going on in our brain. So we have the goods. We're like, okay, we're seeing students. We're seeing the grade 5s. We're seeing the grade 4s. We're seeing the grade 6s. We're seeing the grade 7s, the 13-year-olds, the 12s, 11s. We're like, okay, we have goods. We also see customers. We're not selling at this point. Bear in mind, this wasn't our market day, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it? I don't remember that part. But we started selling. 2 liters, I told you, we bought them for about 25 rand. Guess what? We didn't sell them for 30. Now we sold them for 50. Word 2. How many 2 liters did we buy? Can't necessarily remember, but I'm sure it was more than 10. We just bought and resold. That's all we did. We came into market day with about 150 rand, 200 ZAR, 200 bones is all we had. Let me tell you, boys, we left with north of 500. But the story doesn't end there. You're probably thinking, okay, Neves, this is a story about 2 young chaps back in prep, making loads of cash, making something out of absolutely nothing. The story doesn't end there. TJ and I both make an absolute killing, especially for 12-year-olds, I'm sorry. But we made a rookie error. Bear in mind, this money is hard, cold cash. We're feeling giddy. We're feeling happy. Oh, we made profit. We're here sitting, each of us about 700 rand, kid you not. What we did, was it unethical? You could argue. But ethics, it varies depending on where you are, who you are, where you live.
Wait, can I ask you, did you make majority of your profit from the younger grades? Is that how you...
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Younger grades were easier to sell to, you know. But it's not like we went to grade 3s, grade 4s. We went to people who are more or less our same age. Why on earth they bought a 2 liter from us for 50 rand? Stupid. That's on them. That's on their parents. Their parents should have taught them better. There's no way TJ and I were about to give some oak 50 rand, 70 rand for a 2 liter cold drink. What on earth? That's stupid. You know what I mean? At that point, you got to look at the rents. You have to ask them, yo, listen, what's going on? What are you telling your kids? You know what I mean? So we didn't break no rules because they didn't tell us you're not allowed to make profit. And it's all going to make sense by the time I get to the end of the story. Mo, do you have anything to say before I continue on?
No, it's making sense. Making sense.
Okay, so listen, TJ and I, we've made profit. I mean, we just stay with bands. I mean, we're taking the money like this, putting it over our arms, doing it with the other side. We're flexing like we're in the strip club, homie. We're about to throw these ones in, bruv, 10 rands, 20 rands, 50s, 100 rand notes. We've got cheddar. We're banked. We're loaded. But, we're too excited right now. And that's when we made the rookie error, oh my days. Out in the open, outside, public area, where somebody's likely to walk past, we just start counting our money. And we're proud. 100, 50, 10, 10, 20, 100, 50. I'm here counting the coins. He's counting 5 rand. He's counting 2. I'm counting 5. I'm counting 2. I'm counting 1. I'm counting 2. I'm counting 5. Boys, cheddar, so much cash. 12-year-olds are looking at this. Us 12-year-olds at the time, we're like, yo, how are we going to spend this cash? We don't know, nor do we care. All we care about, we have this money right in front of us. We're going to split it 50-50. Word. Whilst we're doing that, proud. Chest out, chin up, doing this. Should have got a cigarette, put in the side of my ting. Just, yo, listen, this teacher, I'm not going to say her name, walks right past. But she does so gracefully, so swiftly. Oaks, you'd swear she wasn't even there. You swear she didn't see anything. But she did. Now, from the way it looks, especially from the lens that she's using, it looks like, yo, these guys stole the money from Market Day, which is quite logical to think. But she walks by, some time passes by. Me and TJ are there, yo, we're grinning, having a nice time, we're laughing, telling jokes. Bruv, we get called over. We get some student telling us, yo, so-and-so is calling you, this one teacher. And this is a different teacher, by the way, the one who didn't see us, but this is a superior. And we're like, yo, we know what just happened. We know we just got snitched on. Can't say ratted, but we got snitched on. Brother, we go to the office, both him and I. They start interrogating us. It's a cross-examination. Imagine, bro, cross-examining a 12-year-old. Cross-examining 2 young chaps who were good people, good boys, didn't break no rules. How did you make this cash? How did you manage? Did you come to school with this cash? Where did you get it from? We're like, yo, ma'am, listen, we know we have a lot of cash, especially for 12-year-olds, but we did this fairly. All we did, bought products and we resold them. Yes, exorbitant prices, but yo, we didn't put a gun to anybody's head. They bought whatever they wanted to buy at will. Full disclosure. They started asking us, yo, okay, so tell us everything that you bought. Nah, man, we bought 2 liters, we bought sweets, we won a raffle on this side. All we did was buy ethically, legally. We didn't break any rules. After that, we just sold. That's all that we did. Oaks, they were fuming. They were looking at us like this. Like, yo, how dare these Oaks make this much cash, make profit. Look at disgust. But at the end of the day, they were like, listen, keep the money. Because we had to bring the money to them, bear in mind. They're looking at the money like, yo, dude, how are 2 kids carrying this type of cash on the market there? They counted the money. They're like, okay, it all makes sense. When we do the math with the amount of 2 liters they bought and sold, sweets they bought and sold, it adds up to around the same amount of money that they're talking about. So it was kind of clear that we didn't steal, But they were fuming deep down. You could see they looked at us with this gaze of like disgrace. You know what I mean? TJ and I, we didn't care. Word. Couldn't give a monkeys. Bruv, they gave us the cash. We're like, listen, at the end of the day, we can't take this money from you. Verbatim, it's your money. That's what they said. TJ and I get the cash. We go home, spend the cash. Moral of the story, boys, it's not over until the money's secure and, yo, there's nobody around, for lack of better words. But, yo, I don't know how long I've been chatting for because I don't want to ramble or whatever, but that's like the one story where I could tell where I'm not going to get in trouble about prep school. You know what I mean? Mo?
Nah, I can't lie. It doesn't get old.
Like, you listen, Uggs, and this is a true story, eh? Like, we're too. We made so much cash, but like regarding prep school in general, I mean, it was an absolute time. High school as well. But the bonds that I made back in prep were legit. Those ones, even to this day, still hold quite strong. I remember back in prep, I mean, the banter was through the roof. I mean, because at the time as well, I was at a boys' school, anything went, anything goes, everything is fair. And the nice thing about, being with gents is that you could say whatever you wanted, even have a ruck, but in 2 seconds before the day's over, everybody would have forgotten as to what happened. Absolute banter was incredible. The competition was through the roof. I'd argue a massive reason as to why I am the way I am, prep school. I mean, when you talk about competitive, that's how it was back in those days, you know what I mean? And, these aren't my glory days for anybody who's, getting any ideas. I mean, I'm just reminiscing back to the times when life was simpler. And I'm probably going to be saying the same thing in 10 years' time. Back when I was 22, life was significantly smoother and simpler. But, I remember football season came. Oaks would go to trial. They wouldn't be late. Everybody would, Oaks would train like their lives depended on them. As soon as the team list came out, Oaks would come running to see what team they're in. Am I in A team? Am I in first team? Am I in B team? Oaks was serious back in those days. And regarding football in particular, if you were in first team, everybody on the team wore Nike. And as they wore Nike, when they look at the shoes, if it didn't say ACC, you're getting dropped to B team. Word. That's just the way it was. Bear in mind, at the time, we're like, the oldest we are at the time is 13 years of age. Bear in mind, original boots from Nike have ACC written on them. You're dropping at least like 3.5 if you're lucky on a pair of, football boots. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things where everybody had to wear Nike and the boots had to be original. Yes, it would cost an arm and a leg, but back in those days, Oaks performed when it came to A team. I'm sure you can agree with that. That culture was a bit toxic, I won't lie, but dude, come on, it's Nike, ACC. What are you gonna do? Wear fake boots? Come on, let's be serious.
Nah, but I can't lie. That's a good first story time. But it's time for the segment. The Would You Rather segment.
Would You Rather segment. The immoral thing. Let's go.
But this one's gonna involve money because
okay,
market day, etc. Okay. So, would you rather have unlimited access to any luxury item, ultra, like
a mega yacht, like $500 million?
Exactly, one of one. One of one Bugatti, one of one AP. Like no one else has it. Like not even the Russian oligarchs can even touch that.
Yeah. I think I'd pick the first option because I just get a different variation of the same, object or item. So if I have a Lambo, I'll just get a new one next week, just change the color. You see what I mean?
What if Oaks are asking, bro, what happened to your other Lambo? They think you're just, stunting. You're renting cars, you're renting watches.
I'll tell them you can put it in your mouth, bro. I don't do none of that. So I got a new one because I got bored of the old one. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was going to make a crazy joke, but I'm going to leave it. But yeah, man, I'll just get a new one. They say, oh, no, you're lying. Bro, if I don't have cash, why is it that every single week I got a new Lambo? I got a new, Bugatti, a new Koenigsegg. Come on. So I'll definitely pick the first option. Give me something more difficult, brother. Give me something more, something that'll bend my mind, something that'll have me thinking.
Okay. So would you rather be financially free for life, but never feel happiness or satisfaction from anything you buy? So as soon as you leave that Lambo dealership, you are chronically depressed. Like you need medication. Like in that car, you can't even pop a smile.
The purchases do nothing to my emotions. They don't make me feel better.
Nope, not at all. Anything you buy, no matter how small, like a Coke to...
Okay.
But you can buy anything in the world. But never once you swipe that credit card, you are not happy at all.
Okay.
Or, right, your poverty stricken, so you always crave intense joy from purchases, but you're always in poverty. So like the smallest thing you buy, you are ecstatic, like you are the happiest person on earth. You feel fulfilled. It's amazing.
Okay. But that's okay. I think I'd pick the latter for sure. Because man, what's the point of buying things if they don't do anything to your emotions, if they don't make you happier? What's the point of spending the money then? You know, like to get to location B the fastest way possible. Like, no, dude, come on. Like, yo, I'd rather be, as broke as dirt, you know what I mean? Dead broke. And a chappie's making me happy because at least I feel happiness, than to be, I don't know, bro, like have all the money in the world and still not feel happy. That sounds like hell to me. I won't lie. But I hope I answered the question.
But you know that saying, you'd rather cry in like a Lambo than...
Yeah, that's full. Women say that shit, bro. Like, if I were a girl, maybe. But that also, you need context for that one. Like if you're a woman and you're getting cheated on by a guy who makes loads of cash, then it makes more sense. But it's at the end of the day, you're still gonna have moments with that same gen when you're really happy. All that saying implies is high highs and low lows, but the low lows aren't as low as being broke and crying in a Toyota Taz. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think I'd go with the option of being dead broke, the latter option B, and then feeling happy. That's all the questions I take in.
Yeah, that's everything for this week.
So, Oaks, thank you for the pod. Thank you for the episode. Thank you for tuning in. This has been episode 9 of the After Hours Dialogue, and I hope to see you guys next week. Absolutely incredible. We decided to give you guys a story time today, change it all up, just banter, nothing serious or too serious, something to laugh at.
Yeah, back to factory settings next week.
Facts.
Back to the business.
Facts.
Back to the serious topics, controversy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now just something lighthearted, just to, change it up a bit.
Exactly. Boys, it's been an absolute time. After Hours Dialogue, brought to you by your host, Nipo Pungula, and the man behind the mic, behind the camera, behind it all, Mo. Peace. I'll catch you boys in the next one.